Well, back again for another Homebrew Wednesday after last week's total balls up. This week will include no silent footage due to the lack of microphone turning on, and mainly because I have not bothered with it this week. So last week was a bit of a hash, so I apologise for that, with a strange sudden ending, mainly due to the fact that I was really going to reshoot the whole thing, but it was too late. I couldn't be asked. So the time I got in on the editing suite and started trying to chop everything together, it would sort of make the best of the worst. So I'll fill you in with a few updates and just put you in with the rest of the last week's footage, and then bring you up to speed. Not that there's much more to tell you, but we'll stick these few bits in. Yeah, as you can see, everything's chopped in. It was all done sort of when I'd finished the video, so we've just done a layout again of what's going in here. I've ordered the correct relay now. Had two 12 volt power supplies turn up to run the 12 volt solar pumps. One would have been sufficient. I ordered a 5 amp, so it's man enough to run two of the pumps. I think they draw an amp on their specs, but I've ordered two, so I've sort of built in again, same with the PIDs. Having two allows, if one goes wrong, I can still carry on a brew day without losing my power to my pumps. I can always take the wiring out and run both pumps off one power supply, but as it is, they will be individually run, so they shouldn't be overworked. Someone did mention about the Photech relays. There is a huge amount of copies of the copies sort of thing. These ones don't have the LED in them, and they don't have the little cut out the piece. I've took them apart. They do, the top cover flips off, and they are potted better than some of the ones that are on the videos on YouTube. The general consensus seems to be they are well made, but they're vastly overrated. Usually, you know, with this one being claimed at 40, it's probably got 20 or 30 amp components in it, which originally I think the specs is 20 amp relays anyway. So we should still be okay, but I'm going to order another one as a backup. But yeah, the potting's a lot better than the one on, I think it's a Big Clive or something, does a strip down on one. But yeah, they're going to go mounted on an aluminium lid up here. And we've replaced the earth cables with something not quite as monstrous as the original ones. Not long enough to go from there, but we can earth. There's a little screw mounted underneath there where the plate goes, so we'll probably get an earth off of that and then loop it through. Those are earthed as well, so we will need probably utilise that earth tag for an earthing point. Then we've got the HLT and Boyle relays, and then that'll be the main incoming relay, and the neutral and live buzz bars, which I may move back, because I'm going to move the relay up higher, because obviously the cable is going to be fairly thick and it's going to need some room to manipulate it round to fit into the contact points. So the advantage of having a fair bit of room in here. I have got another one of these on order, but it's a 24 volt to run another little item I've purchased, which was originally why I left a bit of a gap here, although I wasn't entirely convinced what I was going to do. But in this box here I bought the water flow control. So the idea was that would leave enough room somewhere for it to live there. But I think I'm going to put it in a separate box with the power supply underneath, and it came with the solenoid and the Hall effect sensor for the flow. So I've ordered another little 2-pin version of that, because inside the circuit board in here is the terminals for the temperature probe. and I need one. I could chop the wires off and just splice in the joint, but I've ordered some made up leads so I can plug the power supply into there, another one into the back of that, and read the temperature probe as well if I so wish. And then they've just got those clips there that screw down the back panel to hold it in place. So I think I've got a clear electrical box that will all accommodate in, hopefully. Yeah, so if you check out Mark Hoverdog, or Hoverdog, I think I said dog anyway, but you know, accent challenge. If you check out one of his previous videos, he's got a little bit of footage on this, because obviously I'm not going to be using this just yet. And obviously Tony Yates over in Norway also, I think he saw Mark's video and added one in. But basically it allows you to monitor the flow of water and control how much you put in, depending on where in line you put it in. But basically it consists of a little flow monitor and a solenoid to stop the flow of water. So if you only want to deliver 23 litres, that's it will meter out 23 litres of water and then stop. So it's handy for your grain bill to water ratio and things like that. So that's pretty much it for the power board build at the moment. I've still got to cut the panels for top and bottom. Got them in behind there. And probably won't be this weekend because I've already lost Saturday for running around, and I will do next weekend as well. Another purchase I mentioned, it's more like a show and tell this week, was this not quite finished Dalek by the looks of it, but it's a water distiller. Get it apart. Obviously the lid seal works quite well because I can't get the fucking thing off. Yeah, so it's basically like the air still, stainless steel fan or aluminium. Cooling coil inside there, blows the air over, condenses it through the pipe inside. It was rattling about, a bit of glass inside there when I got it, but you can get a little tea bag type carbon filter which you house up inside the stainless steel spout there. In some ways I think it's some criticisms of the air still with this being plastic. This one's stainless, but obviously these are a 750 watt model, so they're a lot more power. And just a pot within a pot, and there's a heating element welded to the bottom of the tub inside. I've already had it apart to there's two thermal switches on it, one on the reset button here and one mounted on the bracket that retains over the top of the heating element, which I presume is a thermal cutout for the heating element. So I don't know which one controls the actual temperature of the element, because obviously I'm thinking of either down rating the thermal switch or substituting it with a sensor, and probably coming out through this fairly thin wall there, although there is some holes there. Temperature probe could come out, and put a block on the controller and obviously controlling the temperature. Should we want the boiling temperature to be lower for certain other products, shall we say, for small batches. But primary intention was obviously just to make some nice, clean, fresh, neutral water to add to the old bottle for Star San and the mixtures for the big boy. Yes, and a new sign for the future bar. Let's turn the light back on and be better. Yeah, so updating from last week's fiasco. Would have been rather a long video, although I am known for overrunning my videos, but yeah. So we've progressed no further with the board other than what you've just seen from last week. The only things to sort of update is the arrival of a few bits from AliExpress like that, and what else have we got? Some other bits coming related in a roundabout way to building. I've ordered, because I'm going to go for a DIN rail, because the new relay, which has turned up now, has actually got the grooves slotted in the back, so it'll fit on a DIN rail. So I've ordered some little plastic brackets that are designed that you mount two on and screw a base to them, like a circuit board or something if you're doing self-build. With the idea I can mount these on a DIN rail as well, rather than screw and fix or attach, bolt them directly through the back panel. Should they fail for any reason, I haven't got to strip the whole panel down to access the nuts at the back. I mean, obviously I could self-taper them, but for modular format would be easier. So we've got those awaiting now. I purchased, while they still had them on clearance at Till Station, these 15mm speed fit end tap connectors, with a view to seeing if they'll work on the flow meter and solenoid for the pipe work, like so. And another one there, a piece joining the two, or I may just go for a female bush if these aren't ideal. These will still come in for other jobs. I've got to get a 3/4 version of one of these for a cooling manifold. I've also had some John Guest bits come, just 2 end stops, just to further fault find or track the leak on the gas board over yonder. So I've not had any other further progress really. Not done a lot this weekend. We've got the 24 volt power supply turned up for the flow meter as well. So that'll be a separate project, just to build that in a box with the control panel, and then just a hookup system for the wiring at a later date. So that's pretty much it really, I think, for this week. Still a bit behind on watching videos and doing beer reviews. There's a new YouTuber on the scene also. You might have caught him. He's been doing a few weeks he's been up. Graham Preston, UK based. I'll put a link in the description. Work wise, I'm going to get pretty busy, so don't know what's going to happen with the videos and that. The guy I work with directly, who sort of basically does my job as well, there's 2 of us in the warehouse. There's going to be one of us because he's handed his notice in, and as yet there's no rumours for a planned replacement, which doesn't mean my life's going to get rather physically more exhausting, because I'm going to have to do twice as much lifting, or a little bit, because I've done more than him anyway. But yeah, so it could get interesting. So if you've got a forklift licence and you want to work in a beer warehouse, I might be able to put a word in for you. Alright, till next week, or whenever, if I'm still here and haven't ended up in a Zimmer frame. I'll see you next week. Cheers. Press pause, 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 even if I forget.